Hi there guys, Tom Quayle here, back for Sound Effects Premiere with another demo with a little twist this time. You can see I've got two guitars, one on my left and one on my right. The one on my right is a 59 Reissue Monster Flame Les Paul. Very, very high-end Les Paul with about the best flame top that Gibson do. So pretty pricey. And on my left here, I have a single cut PRS 594, which is new for 2017 and is a very popular or up and coming popular model for PRS. It goes for that kind of modern take on a 59 Les Paul style guitar with a shorter scale length, but with very modern appointments for the player that kind of lift things up possibly a notch in terms of reliability and stability and intonation, all that kind of thing, and playability from supposedly the 59. Les Paul originals. So let's have a look at them both. We'll start with this. This, as I say, is a 59 reissue. So it's a modern 59 reissue. And it's basically got the Monster Flame on. Now the Monster Flame, these are the best woods that Gibson do. So it's got a really thick 3D top, beautiful top, that's very reminiscent of the really thick kind of 3D tops that you would find. When I say thick, I mean the actual thickness of the flame, the actual grain, that you would find on the old original 59s that are worth so much money these days. They're insane prices. This has also got custom burst buckers, which by the way sound absolutely staggeringly good. Standard kind of Gibson tailpiece and bridge, stop tail bridge, and then we've got the two volume controls and two tone controls. And just like on the PRS, and this is a new thing for this particular style of PRS guitar, on the Gibbo, the controls are in line, so you can very easily roll up and down the volume and tone controls with one hand. And we've got the switch for the pickups on the top upper bout, obviously. Mahogany body, mahogany neck. There we've got the Gibson custom logo. It's not a brand new Gibson, but it's new in terms of it's a fresh guitar. It's never been played before. And gloss all over the body, all over the neck, gloss all over the top. So pretty much standard Les Paul affair, except that you've got this incredible top. Now I hope that that's being picked up somewhat by the cameras. The lights are obviously giving us this glossy kind of thing that's going on, but hopefully you can see the flame. And I'll also show you some B-roll shots of the flame that you can see, so you really get the idea of how great this looks. It's really incredible. So we'll start with this guitar. I'm going through a Friedman Runt 20, which is an amazing sounding amplifier, and I'm on the drive. The drive is almost all the way up, and starting with the bridge pickup, we get a really, really fat, warm sound. Now, one thing I should say is the Les Paul has a much fatter neck than the PRS. Okay, and it's a different profile as well. I'll talk you through the PRS neck profile shortly. But the Les Paul sounds like this through the bridge pickup. Now, anybody would be crazy if they were not impressed with that. It's a brilliant sounding guitar, really fat, lots of detail, lots and lots of punch, very, very easy to play. It's got vintage size, tiny, tiny frets on it. They're a little bit wide, but they're very, very short indeed, which is standard stock you would want for a 59 style Les Paul or 59 reissue, but really easy to play. Very, very well set up, very even action all the way across the neck. Let's have a listen to the bridge pickup. Tone controls are on full. Awesome, really, really fantastic guitar, very, very good indeed. Again, like you're paying super top dollar for this top, but it looks really, really great. Big thick flame on there, really nicely book matched as well. So let's put this back on the stand and now we'll compare it to the 594 single cut. Again, new for 2017. These are becoming much, much more popular these days, but it is quite a different guitar in many, many ways. So let's switch over now and have a look at that. Okay guys, so here we've got the 594 single cut from PRS, and this is designed to really kind of be a modern take on a 59 Les Paul, a single cut guitar. Now obviously they've got the double cut, but some guys prefer, like Les Paul aficionados who are really into those 59s and don't want to spend the premium it takes to get like a super high-end Gibson reissue with this kind of flame. Although it's a beautiful guitar, obviously, sometimes it's better to go for a PRS, because the problem with vintage guitars is that vintage guitars have got intonation problems, tuning issues, the wiring might not be too good, the playability might not be consistent all over the neck, for instance. They've got the provenance and the price tag as an investment, but they're not necessarily the best playing guitars in the world, although they can sound phenomenal. So the PRS 594 single cut, well, this is a really good alternative. And this guitar has a shorter scale length, as the title suggests, than the Gibson. So this has got a 24.594 inch scale length as opposed to 24.75. So it's a little bit shorter, which makes the playability a little bit easier. And it feels very comfortable to 59 guys, because that scale length was actually used by Gibson at points as well. So that's kind of interesting for a start. So the first thing we've got a mahogany body, covered in gloss, as you find with the 59 reissue. Then we've got a flame maple neck, which actually rivals in some ways the flame that's on the Mega, the Monster flame here. Just really, really beautiful flame on here. And the guitars are kind of evenly priced really in terms of their asking price. We've also got much more modern tuners on here. These are PRS's they're locking tuners, and they have a little grub screw built in, which basically keeps the stability even stronger. They're high ratio, really quality tuners, and they look great as well with the open gear design. So that's, again, immediately much more modern kind of vibe. But apart from that, all glossed as you'd expect, so that's very similar. We've got I believe it's let me just check, it doesn't actually say here, so I've got the specs here. I think this might be an ebony fretboard. And then we've got obviously the abalone bird inlays on there. Now in this case, we've got wide and slightly tall. So these are medium jumbo frets on here. So this is a different vibe altogether. And then in terms of the neck profile, the 59 Monster Flame is actually a thicker neck from front to back, but it's the same profile all the way around. So it's like a C-shaped profile. This is a C-shaped profile as well, but it's asymmetrical. So it's slightly thicker at the top, as in the bass end, and slightly thinner at the treble end. And that just means that as you get up to the upper part of the guitar and your wrist is at a more extreme angle and you move to the point of the thumb, it's a little bit more comfortable to play if you're playing faster or more technical stuff. So a little bit more modern in that respect as well, which is kind of cool. As we move up to the body here, we've got a flame maple top. Now the flame maple here is very nice. It doesn't quite compete with the Monster Flame, but it's a very nice flame maple top. And you can really see the difference here. This is a thinner kind of flame. It's not a thinner top in terms of the thickness of the top from front to back, but it's a kind of thinner, denser kind of grain going on. Now again, we've got inline volume controls and inline tone controls per pickup, but unlike the Gibson, we also have independent coil splits for each pickup. So we've got the three-way switch plus the coil splits gives us a lot of tonal variation that we just don't get with the 59. Okay, now, really important to say, this is not me hitting on the 59 in terms of like being down on it. I think it's a phenomenal guitar. It's just pointing out the modern appointments you would get with the PRS as opposed to going for a vintage reissue style instrument. Not that it's vintage, but the style of it is very vintage in terms of it being a reissue. So, also you get PRS's own version of Gibson's bridge. Okay, and there's some nice appointments here in terms of longevity and in terms of intonation adjustments that you don't get with the Gibson as well, which is kind of cool. So really beautiful guitar. A couple of other things. You've got a nice little contour across here and a slightly more generous kind of cutaway here in terms of upper fret access as well, which is kind of cool. So the other thing to note, just before I play this for you, is this guitar is a lot heavier. This one is significantly lighter to play, both in terms of the neck and the body. This weighs a lot more, so that's worth considering as well. Now that depends on whether you like weighted guitars in terms of their tone or not, but let's have a listen to how it sounds. So again, we'll start with the bridge pickup going through the Runt 20. Nothing's changed on the amplifier at all, just the sound of the guitar. So we'll start with the humbucker, and then I'll move to the neck position and I'll show you the split positions as well. Okay, let's do some split positions. So we'll split everything and start with the bridge. Roll all the volumes up and we get this. So, very, very similar in terms of the actual detail in the sound and the cutting nature of the sound. But for my money, I actually prefer the playability of this guitar and the modern features, but I really like the way that this guitar sounds. So, I'll let you guys make up your mind. By the way, this has got the 5815 LT low turns pickups in, which are a little bit more vintage sounding. So that's gonna obviously change things from the standard 594. So, also very interesting. So, I'll let you guys make your mind up. Check the video, go to the bit where we played through the 59 reissue, go to the bit where we played through the PRS, see which one you prefer. You know, you might prefer modern features and the sound of the PRS. You might prefer the vintage vibe of this with an amazing flame top and, you know, the sound that creates. It's entirely down to you guys. We're not saying one is better than the other. We're just very interested in comparing because they really are direct competitors in many ways. So we thought this would be an interesting video for you guys to check out, and it's been interesting for us as well. So, hope you enjoyed that, guys. My name's Tom Quayle. Check out Sound Effects Premiere online and come to the store in Ormskirk if you can. I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.